Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, gamers / artists, and welcome once again back to the Hive. Today we've got another art video for you, and I'll be drawing the front cover of The Division, Tom Clancy's The Division, which we've been playing quite a lot of over the weekend that it was available for an open beta. But what you just saw there was a sort of, well, it's a work in progress sort of. I didn't record the first part, so that middle central character, yeah, he got lost in the desktop recording that I didn't really know how it worked. So anyway, all is good because we're here now with at least something for you to look at instead of straight up zero background. So yeah, we're on with the second character now, and this is a lady, and I've had a lot of trouble with this. Her legs just look weird. It was really hard to figure out how to draw her backside. I mean, the first guy's easy because he's straight on. No, there's no perspective or anything. The lady, however, yeah, there's perspective going on, and with such a limitation of pixels, it was quite difficult. The first guy I got done in about half an hour. The rest of the piece took me 2.5 hours to finish, which I don't think was that bad. I usually take a lot longer. But yeah, she's done, and she took probably about 40 minutes, I think, maybe. I don't actually know. Yeah, the second character's done now, the pink one. Now, yeah, this guy also, perspective is difficult because he's got his left leg is in front of his right leg, much like the lady on the right, but it's from a slightly altered perspective, so you can't really see his left leg. So doing that with pixels was quite a challenge. Just trying to figure out what colour would be best and stuff. I'll go back to it in a minute, and honestly, I don't think I've had a harder time with drawing something than doing his legs. Which actually, looking back on it now, I think they look okay. But yeah, it took me quite a while to sort of figure that out, but I like his little medic patch, just a touch of colour in there. Doing it at the bottom of his coat now, and there, here we go. So this is the tough bit, trying to figure out the different colours and what would make it stand out more, and those kind of things. And there's a couple of creases in his trousers, which I think with pixel art, what I really enjoy is that if you put one pixel in the right place, it makes everything just really pop. And I think that those 2 pixels just there in the centre of his right leg sort of make it look like a crease in his legs and that he's walking, which I really enjoy. I think pixel art for me, I really love. It's kind of like doing art and a puzzle at the same time, whereas I never saw art as a puzzle. It was more just draw the thing. It's more observational, whereas this is a mixture of everything, which is why I think I enjoy it so much, because I feel like my right and left sides of my brain are constantly in conflict on artistic matters and intellectual matters. So for me, this really sort of does everything. It ticks all my boxes, so to speak. Well, not all of them, but you know, this was another really, really tough bit. The sign, getting the perspective right and deciding whether I wanted perspective or some kind of altered perspective, which was like straight line across the top. I've revisited it a couple of times because it was just a nightmare. But I really enjoyed doing the city. This sort of skyline was quite fun. I just remember thinking back to like old sort of retro games, and I don't know, I might be wrong, but I'll check in a bit. Streets of Rage, where the title screen is like some guys, and then there's like a really crappy looking retro city just painted in the background. Mysteriously, the door's just opened by itself. Oh well, we'll blame it on ghosts. And Morgan. Morgan's here. I'll play Napster Bleak's theme for you. Now it's time for the chain link fences. So this was another, I've said this quite a lot, it was a really difficult part, this. Just trying to get it right is the hard bit. That sounds so obvious when you say it, but hopefully someone watching this video will understand my struggle. Just trying to get it perfect is the struggle, not just trying to get it look right. Like this sign, told you I revisited it all my days. It looks like the Epic Mealtime logo. But God, I spent far too much time on that one little sign that I just, no, I don't want to admit. Yeah, look, making it flat and then making it not flat and then making it it's a nightmare. And then we change it again. Then we change it all again. Making sure everything looks right, changing a few colours. This was really fun actually, doing these shadows. It sort of made everything seem, and this smoke as well, sort of brought everything together, sort of changing it to look like a retro-y type thing. So actually the way I did this was to have a brush or the pencil tool set at different opacities and different sizes, and then to just erase around the sort of gradient that I'd already made. When I first started it, I made a larger file, which was about twice the size of this. It was about 160 pixels. So I made a gradient in that, a radial gradient for that smoke, and it was way too big. I couldn't work on it, so I shrunk it down, and that's what you sort of see. But this was my absolute favourite bit, doing the snow, using like the polygonal lasso tool, and just again different opacity brushes to sort of bring out different textures in the road and the snow, and then overlaying the shadow to make it look like the shadow was actually shadow instead of just black. Then some horizontal lines for better readability and that good stuff. Going back into the chain link fences, because I found that the character on the right hand side, the female character, sort of blended in too well. So I tried to make the smoke sort of more bluish. I don't really think it works, which is why I'm pretty sure I changed it later on. But yeah, bit of lighting on the buildings. I'm going to point it out now because you're about to see it change. The building on the right really annoyed me. The windows just wouldn't work. I couldn't get it right, and I was like, bleh. So yeah, just adding in some light source now to make it look pretty. Sort of bring the whole thing together, like the skyline and stuff, and then changing the lighting again to reflect the difference. And there we go, destroying buildings. That looks a little better. Now just playing with some blending options, trying to bring the whole piece together, add some snow and junk to the right and left side to really make it one piece. No anime/manga reference there. And then yeah, there was a little transparency around the background, so now you've seen all the different layers, moving it around, making him do a little dance, changing the sign again, and now for some sort of lensy flary type thing on the little orange, whatever you even call it, thing, changing that window on the building on the right again. And now it's about making it bigger. So this is high res version scaled up to 1000%. So the original file's only 86 pixels wide by about 110, 120. So obviously we don't want that because it'll be the size of a pea on your screen. And now it's comparison time. So you get to see what they look like. Obviously the proper cover is the one on the right, and my version is the one. No, sorry, I'm lying. The real one's the one on the left. But there you go. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Subscribe.